quite like this place that I call home. California grown. Yeah, yeah. California grown.
California grown indeed. Thank you, Tyler Rich, for that intro music. Once again, John Cassidy here. It is time for Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts, the radio version. Thank you, Mr. Bob Fischetti. Everything Tower Media, everything 93Q, unbelievable. And we have a special guest today sitting in for Chuck Smith and Scott Anderson, Russ Brown, columnist with the Appeal Democrat, former senior executive for Yuba County, rock star, former neighbor. He moved because we lived close and he needed to get out of that neighborhood. It was dangerous.
He talked about that.
I had to chase you out of the neighborhood, as I recall.
That's right. He chased me out. Never mind. We moved out. It was dangerous. Danger.
It was either that, you either went willingly or law enforcement was next.
That's it. Well, happy post 4th of July, everybody. Hope you're recovering from the hot dogs. Hopefully not too much beer. Fireworks, drone shows this year were introduced. We'll touch on that a little bit today. We got all sorts of cool stuff to talk about. But how was your 4th, Bob?
It was really great. I ended up going out to the Yuba Center Fairgrounds because they honored vets, and my wife and I got honored.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
You're welcome.
Multiple times.
It was.
That was the thing. The military can't get rid of you. Yeah.
I jokingly tell people I've never got my final discharge, and I've called them and done that. Finally, I gave up. If I'm in, I'm in. But it was just really well done. I just felt like celebrating 250 years of the nation. How do you kind of bring that local? And I think they did a great job. The fireworks on the 3rd were beyond belief. I was on my way home, and I go down Garden Highway and 2nd Street, and John, guys, there was no parking spaces.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The levees, you know where that little Veterans Park is?
Yep.
That was packed on the levee. And I saw some video of people that Kurt did. I think it's on our video. Amazing fireworks show on the 3rd, and then turned right around. And on the 4th, they had a car show. There were food trucks out there. It was really nice. And then they honored veterans, and then they did a drone show.
That's great. It was
just
awesome.
A great weekend. Well done. Well done.
Oh, yeah. Well, Yuba Sutter knows how to do it right, for sure. What a great group. And Russ, congratulations. 46 years she's hung in there with you.
My wife, yes, she has.
Yeah, your wife, that 46-year thing.
We tell a joke about how long you've been married. Well, 42 wonderful years. And they say, my wife would say 46. I said, well, 4 weren't that great, but it's been a great ride.
4 weren't that great.
Tell people, I've been happily married for 5 years.
I think Russ might be sleeping at Bob's house tonight. Yeah. And I left out Kurt Baird on the board, as always. Kurt, how are you? Good?
I'm good.
Any bagpipe activity over the weekend, or?
Actually, I played for my sister's 80th birthday.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah,
which is good. She can't hear.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that was a good thing. Yeah.
No mercy here.
Happy birthday, Lucy.
Pretty funny. Russ, you have a column in the Appeal Democrat. Talk about that a little bit, and pretty cool stuff. You talked about old George Washington, that #1 guy back 250 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was it's been a great ride, kind of being along the last almost 2 years now.
I know,
being in
crazy.
the column every other week and just having a blast and trying to. It's not hard to come up with a fodder to enter into the pages there. And then we had the 4th come up, and my wife and I were talking. We realized that it was 50 years ago, this last 4th of July, this 4th of July, that we actually met on a bus on the East Coast. The bus broke down. We were in Ocean City, New Jersey as part of a choir tour. I didn't know her because she was going to UC Davis and not really attending a lot of the choir practices beforehand. But from San Mateo in the Bay Area, we flew to Cincinnati. We got in a Greyhound bus with several singers, and we went around. And on the 4th of July, we sang in the morning in a town in Pennsylvania, then drove to Ocean City, New Jersey, did an early evening concert at a church, got in the bus, and the bus didn't go anywhere. It just wouldn't start. And we were supposed to be in Philadelphia watching the bicentennial fireworks.
How did you disable the bus?
Well, this is a good story. This is a good story. You got to listen to this.
So essentially, I told the story earlier about George Washington because I love reading about him, about his life, and what he did in the founding
And there's
of
a
this
new
country.
documentary or a
Yes,
video movie
I still have to catch that.
Young
So,
George.
Young George, yeah.
I've heard
Young
it's
George
very
Washington.
good.
But so I told the story of two Georges because the second one, my wife and I tell this in the article about how we just kind of, after milling about for hours waiting for this bus to get fixed, people were under the hood trying to figure it out. And I finally sat down next to this gal I didn't know, and I started talking. We were talking a bit, and then the next day we found a reason to sit down again and again and again. And well, what happened on that 4th of July, another friend, George, he was like a year behind me in school, and he went and the bus was kind of getting loaded up to leave, and he sat in the driver's seat for a while, and he loved the dashboard and all that, and I guess there was a little toggle underneath the dashboard that he kind of went back and forth, wasn't sure what it was. Well, it was the emergency fuel cutoff, and he turned it off. So nobody thought to check. One click and
Of
we're
course
gone.
not. You never check the easy
not
stuff.
The easy
No,
stuff.
no.
But I tell the story is that, my gosh, it's kind of like the way God operates. You know, one little move.
Yep.
If George didn't do that, my wife and I don't sit together. I don't have two great kids. I don't have two great in-law kids, and I have 3 wonderful grandchildren, all based on George fiddling around in the front seat of this Greyhound bus.
Yeah, well, but let's be honest here. You know, because Mr. Fischetti was around, you know, when George Washington was leading the country into where we are
he was
today.
younger, though.
So
Yeah.
George Washington is actually responsible for your marriage.
There you go. Absolutely.
It's a small world.
It's a series of events that lead to this moment.
And my wife, by the way, Christine, as you know, she's a distant relative of George Washington.
Really?
Yes,
That's
it
pretty
was,
awesome.
what do they call Daughters of the Native? I can't remember what it's called. Daughters
Native American, Native
Daughters
Native American?
of
something.
I can't remember of the
So-
Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary War, something like that, yeah.
So George Washington's the father of our nation.
Yep.
How come we never talk about his brother as the uncle of our nation?
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't
We
know.
never-
I didn't know
get that
about his
started.
brother. What about his brother?
I just made
What did
that
he
up.
do?
You just made it. Did he have a brother?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it's like,
Kurt,
like
could you,
everything you do on
could you
this
call a
radio
research?
station.
Just
Could you
make
call
it
a
up.
research department and have them find out if George Washington had a brother? Because I'm not sure.
Our sister,
Yeah,
the
I'll-
aunt of the nation. We never heard about his family. It was like the man didn't have a family. He became father of the nation, and it's like
He had a pretty nice place in Mount Vernon, though.
he did.
It's still
yeah.
pretty nice.
Probably had a wife and kids.
You know what really ticked me off though about George Washington this last week or so? Or what was it? No, it was the 4th of July when that
off.
moron mayor of New York
Oh, yeah.
turned, and I actually was on Wilco's show, Andrew Wilco, the other morning talking about this because I was the only one that I think has brought it up so far, and that's a national radio show. Did you see his speech? Mondamis, did you listen to it?
Yeah,
Did you see the picture?
yeah.
Where was he sitting?
He was sitting at the desk, and the desk was backwards.
Which was just basically flipping the flag upside down. That was intentional. And no one's talking about that. That was intentional. That's
Yeah.
basically turning the flag upside down and sticking it in American citizens' eyes. Good luck, Mr. Kami Mandami in New York. Things are not going very well. It won't be a long and fruitful ride, I can tell you that.
I do want to tell you, I heard this and I love it. They were talking about the people that have come over for the soccer and how much they love this country. And this person said, why don't we work a deal where we trade 1 for 1? As a matter of fact, we'll give them 2 for 1.
I like that.
So we get the person that wants to stay here, and the people that hate this country, we send them to a country they can love. Whatever country.
And this will not affect the export of ranch dressing if that needs to happen,
No,
right?
they can take it with them. They can be a hero.
Well, they want
over
ranch
there.
dressing now in England because they're falling in love. I guess they dip the French fries and whatever else, chicken wings.
Have they gotten the beer back to Boston? Because I heard they ran out.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know they ran out of some tea at one point in Boston and it started kind of a revolution. Is that right?
Yeah.
Russ, is that right? Something like
That's
that.
what I hear.
Something like that.
There was a guy he's from England, and he was throwing a fit about England because he said, in America, you get free refills. Here, they make us pay over and over. He was just ranting about it.
Well,
It's
you
like,
heard about you go to a bar to get a drink, and I experienced this firsthand. Even though Ireland's pretty friendly with that stuff, a lot friendlier than the rest of Europe. In Italy, for sure, they measure out whatever it is, an ounce and a half, whatever you're having, a glass of wine. It's not like the bartender just sits there, pours and mixes it their way. No. Whereas most of the places here, they're not that overly concerned
Yeah,
about
yeah.
portion management. So, but yes, your point about all these folks coming over, and by the way, congrats to the American soccer team. They had a great run, and
Wow.
they ran into an all-star team in Belgium. I mean, they're top tier, and the Americans just made a couple of really bad mistakes early, and it really put them behind the 8 ball in that game. But they had a great run, and they scored more goals than any U.S. team ever has in World Cup competition. And I think it bodes well for the future. It bodes well, especially the amount of attention for young people. Soccer's always been a big sport in this country since the late 60s, early 70s, as it evolved from the melting pot sport to a mainstream sport. But they get our 5th and 6th tier athletes. If you had the Michael Jordans and the Steph Currys and some of those type of athletes playing American or soccer, it'd be a different story on the world stage.
Yeah.
But that's not our top tier sports, so you don't get the best. I'm not saying they're not great athletes because they're world class athletes, obviously, but to finish in the top 16 is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, and the way it looks with Belgium, they could end up with all the marbles.
Oh, they're good. Any of those
They're
final 8 teams,
exceptionally
they're all good. And England came back.
Yeah.
Argentina came back. A couple of big wins there. So it's been exciting. It's been presented well. I give Fox Sports a lot of credit. They've done a great job presenting that sport in a way where it's really become attractive for folks. So
I think that the big news thing, though, is the way they show the people that they said, we heard America was like this. Then we get here and find out our media lied to us. And they had a Japanese guy in Texas eating the ribs.
right.
And he could hardly talk because he was so
yeah.
involved with that rib. And it's like, I think, because I've traveled a lot overseas, I kind of get that. We really are the land of abundance. But that, to me, it's how funny it is that
It's true, though.
their media hasn't been telling them
Well,
the
let me
truth.
tell you, and Russ, I'll share this with you because I shared this with Chuck and Bob last week, or whenever the last time I was here, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't even remember now. It's been so fast. This summer's already half gone. When my cousin Geraldine and her husband, and he's a concert pianist and she's an opera singer, and she's from Ireland, he's from England, which is a scary thought in and of itself. But very talented people. But they took a visit for the first time, other than when my cousin Geraldine was really young with her parents. They honeymooned here in the United States. And this is going back 35 years ago when the Nicolettis still had the silver dollar.
Sure.
And they had, so they'd been in the country about 2 weeks and did the Yosemite and some of the other glacier and some visited LA and Disneyland and all that. And then they came here for about a week. And the first conversations we had were at the Silver Dollar with them, took them there, and they got to experience that vibe and the whole old history of the West and the food. It was a really fun time. Thank you, John Nicoletti and Bob, God rest your soul. It was a lot of fun. But the interesting thing, I'll never forget it, their first comments out of their mouth were, "We're just shocked how nice the Americans are."
Yeah.
We're shocked. We can't believe how well we've been treated across. This is 35 years ago.
Right.
So the BBC, even at that time, and European media, and our own media, positioning the United States in a way where that's really not the United States. We're a welcoming, most giving country, most charitable country in the history of the world, without question. And now you have the shock and awe effect with all the social media, right, Russ?
Social media, absolutely.
And that people can actually tell the truth, and it's unabated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the LA riots. I mean, people were talking about it like the whole city was burning. It was like a 2-block area.
Right.
But you put enough cameras on it, it feels like it's happening
Correct.
right next
Yeah.
to you.
Great point.
Well, in World War II, not that I was there, but the prisoners,
We don't know for sure.
Yeah,
but
the prisoners of war, both Japanese and German, were shocked at the humane treatment they got.
Well, right here at Camp
right
Beale.
Here at Camp Beale, I found that out, and it's like because they were told, well, they're gonna eat you, right? Whatever. And I think, as sad as it sounds, we haven't come any further than World War II with the media in Europe declaring that they're going to eat you alive. And they show the worst parts of America. Look, there's haters in America, like it or not. There are people that hate this country.
Very small percentage.
But it's exactly. And so it's I have to tell you, I can't tell you the last time I met somebody that hated America where we live. I have heard it on the news. Right? You hear it, right? And it's like well, you were talking about Mondani. That guy hates America. And it's like, okay, well, then move.
Well,
And that's been something we've said for a long time.
Again, they don't. The news doesn't want to report about the person that made it across the street because that's not really exciting or newsworthy, quote unquote. They talk about the person who gets hit by the car, and the tail wagging the dog in this country has been, way overplayed for way too long, and I think it's actually turning. Because the exposure tends to clean things up.
I'm telling you, I believe that with all my heart.
Yeah, it just takes too long sometimes.
I am not going to constantly talk about what's wrong on 93Q because there's too many right things.
Would you,
too many
you
right
mind if I
things.
bring one thing that's wrong, I think? I've got to talk to some of my other friends. But so the Marysville High School, is it the Tomahawks they're going to from the Indians? They're still fighting this, I guess. There's still some past where they may be able to reverse it. The Native American Indians are part of our amazing history as a country, and it's a tribute to them as Marysville High School to be an Indian, whether you're a Native American or not, to represent the history and the lore and the amazing people that were in this country from the beginning and long before it. It's amazing to me that this is a priority for our state government. It's ridiculous, and I hope they're able to turn it around at some point. But they are getting a lot of notoriety for battling this, right, Russ?
And watching it, yeah, it's kind of fascinating. I grew up in the Bay Area. I went to a lot of Stanford games, and the Indians.
Correct.
And they had a chief out there in full gear that would dance at halftime.
Yeah.
People loved it. They cheered.
Exactly.
And they fired him. And now after that, they had like a dancing Christmas tree that would dance around the field.
Yeah,
which
that was
seemed
beautiful.
so odd. It was glorious.
Christmas tree that looked like something else, but we won't go there.
Yeah, well.
And I think most Native Americans are not behind this change. You know what I mean? They can find a tribe that will say, no, we're good.
Well,
with
look at
this.
the Washington Redskins fiasco.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to actually get reversed. I think you're going to see the Redskins come back away from the Commanders because the nations, the Native American nations in this country support the Redskins because and that was one of their premier what labels, I guess.
Did anybody ever take note that they used the term brave?
Yeah.
Tell me what's wrong with brave, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
and no
all of them were
picks
to
a mascot
honor.
to shame somebody. They pick a mascot as an honor to
Correct.
honor them, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I hope something happens.
Stop talking common sense, Kurt. Do we have to have Kurt mentioned? I mean, that's why we don't give him a mic all the
Can we
time.
pick the name We're Not Indians anymore?
Yeah, there you go.
And that way we still get it.
There you go.
Our new name is We're Not the Indians.
By the way, typical Yuba Sutter giving back from this community. I guess came up with more than 3,000 pounds of people went and cleaned up the river bottoms and Beckworth and of course Sayla was involved, Jeff Stevens' group, Amanda Hudstead, the executive director there, and 1,000 volunteers came out or some crazy number and cleaned that all up.
That's wonderful.
Which is pretty amazing. I want to mention Barry Turk passed away this past week at the age of 83. Longtime Peachtree Country Club member and was in the military, Vietnam vet. Condolences to his family. He led a great life. Really good guy. And so that was very, very sad. By the way, I want to congratulate Yuba College, our new interim president. Carissa Morehouse, she's a wonderful lady. She's been out at Yuba College for a number of years and following up as the interim president, taking Tawny Dotson's place, who got a great opportunity to go to probably the most profitable, if that's the right word. They've got a lot of money down there in Temecula in that region. So Mount San Jacinto is a beautiful college, looks more like a university. 30,000 plus students. Tawny will do a great job as the new superintendent down there. Our hats off to her, and thank her for all she did for Yuba College. She did a absolutely phenomenal job.
So how do they? You're on the board.
Yes.
So does the board pick the
Yes.
next? So then you guys will
Well,
open.
the chancellor goes through a process. The board's involved, and then we have to do final. We have final approval on the person. Yes. and
Awesome.
she'll do a great job. She's been around, she understands, and she's a go-getter. So a lot of things have been accomplished there over the last 6 years under Tawny's direction. Amazing things, and Chancellor Pan has done a great job, and a lot of things to get to going forward, but making a lot of progress there. So stay tuned for that. Freebirds update.
Oh,
they have
man.
14
Let's
games
hear it.
on the road.
Yeah, they do. But
Wow.
I have to tell you, the number one team in the league is the Long Beach Coast. And they came in for their 3-game series here. And the Freebirds whipped them 2 out of 3.
That's pretty darn good.
And came really close on the game. Kudos to Frank Gonzalez. He has got some new players, some new bats, some new pitching, which we really need. Our bats were pretty good, but man, we just couldn't hold the other team back.
It's all about the arms, Bob. Look at the Giants.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it is. So anyway, he's done a great job. Kudos to the staff out there at the ballpark. I mean,
Yeah, I've heard the experience has been
people
spectacular
are
this
having
season.
fun.
Yep.
It's fun. That's
Yep.
the bottom line. It's fun.
Well, it's
And
MLB affiliated, real world
Yeah.
baseball, and yeah, these guys
Yep.
hit the tar out of it.
So just last thing, I say this all the time, even when I'm on the air with it, and that is, you talk about web gems. My gosh, there's plays that are unbelievable. I mean, you're watching it and you're going, did that just happen? You know, yeah.
well, these are major league level
They
players.
are,
Yeah,
and
I
I
mean
think
it's
that's the difference.
Oh boy, it's a whole different world. Russ, are you enjoying the Freebirds?
Yeah, I do follow them. I like to see what's going on.
Yep.
I'm just setting my Giants, breaking my heart every day. So
Oh, yeah, my wife's a Giants fan. We watch every night, and this is how Patty does it. So she loves the Giants. So she'll check, and if they win, we watch the highlights. If they don't win, we don't.
So,
if the
not watching.
Dodgers lose, we watch the highlights. If St. Louis wins, we watch the highlights.
kind of like social media, putting all the good stuff in front of you.
Exactly.
Right?
That's it.
Well, the Freebirds are back July 21st.
Yep.
Yeah, they got Boise coming in, and
Oh, that's gonna be
We
good.
need to beat some Boise's.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to beat the Boise's. Yeah, beat them good. A great event coming up at Sutter Buttes Brewing on July 19th, and another fundraiser for Jacob Smith, the victim of the hot oil attack who was working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody that's donated to his problem here, obviously recovering from being burned by hot oil. But yeah, you can still go online and donate to the Jacob Smith Fund. It's on, I think it's over $200,000 they've raised already. And yeah, if you go on GoFundMe and look up Jacob Smith, I know a lot of people, and I've donated as well to help him out. That's just really sad, but he's recovering. He's got a great attitude, and I think he'll come out of this okay. Obviously, he'll have some
I'm
issues.
assuming there's consequences to the.
I would hope so.
I mean, there
Well, I
had
would
to be
think
some
so,
kind
yeah.
of charge, right?
Right.
Yep.
I mean, because, and I appreciate this. I'd rather focus on how can we help this young man, but you would hope the other side of it is that the perpetrator doesn't get an
Correct.
opportunity to do this again.
Correct.
Jacob has a very strong family. I know his brother very well, Caleb. He's a missionary. He was down in Mexico for a while.
Wow.
Met his love of his life there, Gabby, and they
Wow.
got married. And now they're in Romania
Wow.
being missionaries. So
That's heavy
kind
stuff.
of interesting. But they're I learned a lot from Caleb about what was going on also, and
That's heavy stuff.
it's really something.
I
It
love
is.
that an English-speaking, Spanish-speaking
Speaking.
person get together and go to Romania.
Exactly.
It just makes absolute
And they came
sense.
home long enough, about 3 months ago, to have a baby.
Yes.
Now they're back there again. So
Yes.
That baby's going to speak 3 languages. Think about
absolutely.
this.
Exactly. Hard Rock, we always mention what's coming up
Yeah.
because we have world-class entertainment right in our backyard at Hard Rock Live. Congrats to Mark Berth out there once again, the president, and then Randy does such a great job putting
Phenomenal.
Randy Maddox putting together all the. But Stray Cats coming up August 2nd. That's
Kurt and I will be there.
pretty amazing. Their second, I think, appearance there at Hard Rock Live, and they're phenomenal. You've got a Queen band coming up. You got Ozzy Osbourne tribute coming up. Aaron Lewis and the State Liners, August 7th. Aaron Lewis is amazing, absolutely amazing. A lot of acoustic, kind of country artist, and huge. That was a huge get for Hard Rock Live. Get your tickets soon. That's Friday, August 7th. Police Experience coming up. Hanson, let's see what else we got coming up. Anthony Hamilton, Earth, Wind, and Fire, mid-September, 2 nights. Get your tickets quick. And America's coming back in late September, and you do not want to miss that.
And then you got Lanoid and Friends.
And that's in November.
Yep. And if there were horns on the song, these guys are doing it. So they're
amazing.
Ides of March Vehicle. They'll do Tower of Power songs. They'll do Earth, Wind, and Fire songs. They'll do a lot of Chicago songs. But if it had horns, these guys are playing it, and they are exceptional.
Amazing. In October, UB40. And then there's that guy on Halloween night. What's his name? Big soccer fan. Actually, was a good athlete and did pretty well as a singer. His name is Tom Jones.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I think at 90 years old,
Listen,
he still cranks.
Oh,
unbelievable!
I recently saw a little video
Yes.
of him singing with Leanne Rimes. Oh my gosh.
that'll stop your heart.
That?
That'll stop your heart.
Oh my gosh, those two.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He's still got it.
Oh.
So that's going to be an exciting
Unbelievable.
show. When is that, John?
That is Halloween night. I got to call Randy today and get my tickets lined up. Leonid and Friends is actually November. It's Friday night, November 6th. Folks, you do not want to miss that. You will be standing the whole time. They are amazing. Bachman Turner over. BTO still in the house. Canada's greatest. Unbelievable. I had so many high school friends that, oh my God. Bachman Turner Overdrive, BTO.
I was playing in a rock band in Sacramento, and we were playing a gig, and the bass player starts playing. Dun, 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 dun. We have never practiced the song.
Well,
never.
But Bachman Turner Overdrive is famous for 2 chords, right?
Yeah,
pretty much
so
2 chords.
He goes into it and he goes, just make up the words. So I started going, woke up every morning, da, 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 and the crowd's going nuts.
And you didn't incorporate the bagpiper Kurt Baird in that. You didn't have Kurt Baird in his bagpipe in that.
I should have a bagpipe.
Is that a 1-chord
perfect
bagpipe song, or what is that?
No chords in a bagpipe.
No
just
chords.
Notes.
Wow.
God, just notes. Never mind.
He could have done it.
By the way, it is top of the hour, and I don't want to get you fired.
You're listening to 93.3 LPFM, KETQ, Yuba City. I just love that they have got, it's not that I don't like new bands, right? There's new bands come out all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love that. I talked to Randy, and one of the things he said was that, like he said, the Bee Gees cover band out there 3 times. People will come see it. And I think there is something to be said for that. But then you got bands like Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's not a cover band. Those guys are still
That's the real deal. They're unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Russ, I don't want to implicate Bob in this story at all, but there were some 13,000-year-old bones found in the Channel Islands outside of Santa Barbara recently. I'm not sure they're related. Maybe they're related to Bob. I don't know. I think Bob's got all his parts still.
My great uncle.
Yeah, I think Bob's still got all his parts, so we can't say that they're related to Bob directly.
Yeah.
But findings from a mysterious remote chain of islands off California are rattling bones in the science community.
Wow.
Talking about traces of a vanished world, because you've got those islands down there. It's an extraordinary story. There's a new documentary out on it, and I think it's called the Clovis Culture. The Arlington Springs Man is the oldest set of bones, I guess, ever found on our continent, and they're from the Channel Islands, Santa Catalina, Santa Barbara, San Clemente, San Nicolas. Pretty interesting. Little region off the coast of Santa Barbara there. But yeah, in fact, Cabrillo landed on those islands. So Cabrillo College, Cabrillo down in Santa Cruz area, and he actually died on that island, which I did not know. But pretty interesting story in the California Post there. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff.
I had a story I enjoyed this week, which was one about the Waymo because I grew up in San Mateo. There's a Waymo in San Mateo, and these kids get in there, and
what are they
have
thinking?
their alcohol. They're shooting water beads, I guess, what they called it.
Water bead gun or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the Waymo drives them to a parking lot and calls the police.
And they're stuck in the car,
stuck
right?
in the car.
Yeah. because it just locked them in.
Exactly.
So be
took
very careful about,
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad to hear that there's some kind of artificial intelligence that works out there.
Well,
I thought
took-
artificial intelligence was defined by Chuck Smith, no?
Yeah, but-
Oh, I'm gonna pay for that.
Here it comes.
I'm gonna pay for that.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
took one of those when I went on vacation, and I took a video. And people were cracking up because you're sitting in the passenger seat, and there's nobody over there, and it's driving you around. Yeah, it's pretty wild, right? But that part I think is awesome.
Oh, it is.
You know
It is. It's awesome.
you don't need law enforcement. You're just locked in here till they arrive.
That's
And
correct.
they're
Then the
going to
doors
have
will
lunch
open.
first.
That's
right?
correct.
You
That is
can't get out.
absolutely
Does it leave the air conditioner on?
correct.
Well, I'm sure.
Cracks a window.
Yeah, yeah, pretty cool. And then stay tuned for some updates on Tyler Rich's the event 2026 coming up. Looks like it's going to be in November. We'll get that out here in the next week or two.
Awesome.
Get ready for that. To plan for that. That's going to be a big, huge, really, really fun event.
He brought an artist from Sacramento last time.
Yeah, the gals.
The gals,
They were
yeah,
great.
which was really great. And so, you never think about it, but
There'll probably be another artist from Sacramento this time too.
I was going to say, because
Pretty
they
darn good.
know, these artists know other people.
Right.
And so we get the opportunity of being introduced to
Yep.
a new band.
Yep.
Right? And it's Tyler Rich approved, right? Because he gets to do that. And I think it's great for the event, which is a fundraiser. And so it's an opportunity for us to have Tyler Rich, homeboy, back, right? And then as well, somebody from Sacramento, that's killer.
Yep. Stay tuned for that. That should be really, really good. So, and I want to thank once again Scott Anderson and the team over at the Appeal Democrat, and some great columns from Jeff Larson, sports editor, this last week, especially on the Marysville High School success with some of their athletes and teams this past week. So make sure you're online with the Appeal Democrat newspaper. They do a phenomenal job. And then you can always grab a hard copy, Russ, and go over to the Brick and have a great breakfast. There they've got,
Love the brick.
wow, too many good
Yeah.
things. Kim Mauda, one of our sponsors, phenomenal.
I saw her yesterday, had an opportunity because we were going out the airport. Unfortunately, I had the wrong day. Kurt and I got to go out there today. But I got a chance to see Kim, and I haven't seen her in a while. And she's
Well, the
is
thing about
very
seeing
grateful for this show. But she was telling me about how thrilled she was. She was able to take a vacation.
Finally.
And her crew absolutely nailed it with the Brick. Great people over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty excited. And so
Hey, great coffee, great tea, great breakfast, great lunch. And the thing about Kim is, because Kim worked for me for about a little over 10 years at
What?
Sierra Central Credit Union.
What?
The thing about Kim is she'll look like she's 18 when she's 70. I
Yeah.
mean, she never she's one of those
I
people.
know.
She's one of those people. She never ages. So, and she
I
works
saw
her
that
tail
when I
off.
went over there. I'm getting old, wrinkled,
Unlike
and gray.
present company,
She
yeah.
isn't.
Well, I showed up here
Yes.
39 years ago. I came into this town, Woolworth, of course.
Yeah, I remember.
And this young guy and his
Here we go.
protege
Here we go.
walked into my store.
Here we go.
And this guy begged me, saying he's trying to reach a quota, begged me to
Open a checking
up
account.
a checking account
Absolutely.
at Great Western.
At the Woolworths, the one of the last standing Woolworths lunch counters.
I was
Yep,
just going to
absolutely.
ask, was it at the
Absolutely.
lunch
Yeah, absolutely.
counter? Oh my gosh!
And the most famous one for when I grew up was in San Francisco on Market, right at the cable car turnaround. You had Woolworths, and I think it was
That's
at
the
the
big
time
one, yeah.
their biggest cafe, and it was a big deal to go in there and have, like, when my mom would go downtown, like it was a big
iconic.
deal it was iconic to go get like a cheese sandwich or something right there.
There's like
Oh, yeah.
a bar there now or something.
I think so.
because we went specifically to that turnaround to go to that place. I
Yeah.
guess it's a well-known
Wow.
place. I can't remember the name. But we went to the end of the cable car line just to go there. I didn't know that used to be, well, I don't know if it used to be.
On
a
Market
Woolworths.
Street, yeah.
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 Awesome.
Oh yeah,
Great
it's famous.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
I think
we
it's the
need a
California. I think it was
Woolworths now.
Market in California. I think it's right there at the California Street cable car, if I remember right. But I don't know. They changed so much in that city; it's hard to keep
Yeah.
up.
Keep up, yeah.
I will give Mayor Lurie credit, and I pretty much passed it on to him, and I said, "Look, you need me," and kind of understands it now because there's thousands of me that were natives, and you're San Mateo guy that don't go back anymore, or go back very limited.
Don't enjoy it when I go back.
Because it's you're looking over your shoulder now. I got to give Mayor Lurie credit. He's moved the needle because he's not necessarily moving the problems, even though there's still significant issues there. He's starting to remove the problems, and he's
great.
getting
Yeah.
support and he's starting to galvanize people in roles in that community and elected roles as well to straighten San Francisco back out and make it a great city once again.
Go.
Yeah, my wife grew up in that area, and she loves the city. You know, the only thing that she speaks about disparagingly is the things that have happened that something needs to happen. People can talk about Giuliani all they want, but Giuliani started busting little crime, and it started taking care of big
the broken
crime.
window philosophy.
And
yeah.
I think that is a
broken glass philosophy.
Right.
I don't care what city you live in. That is a good idea, and it makes a difference.
You know, you look at Seattle, you look at Portland, you look at San Francisco, you look at L.A. There's got to be some serious shifting going on, and Mayor Lurie is actually leading that charge because these cities have some major issues to tackle, and we're so fortunate in Yuba Sutter and the surrounding region here to live where we live in California, because I call it, when I talk to people, real California, because you actually know your neighbors. You can actually spread out a little bit.
Make a move.
Yeah, exactly. Make a move.
Once you know them, you decide
get out.
if you want to keep
Get
them.
out. But we're lucky. Our quality of life is in a different realm. In fact, I was up at Shasta Lake this past week for the 4th of July, and same kind of community there. Beautiful. Great spot, great mountains and water, and we're lucky to have what we have up here in Northern California.
So blessed.
Yeah, we are just incredibly blessed. Anyway, anything else going on this week we need to touch on?
The last thing I want to say is, other than the Freebirds coming back, I'm excited to do live baseball. I actually saw a documentary on the Buttes
I love it.
that told the whole story about, it was a volcano.
Was that based on Kelly's book, The Inland Sea? Was that the one? Because there is one that also, The Inland Sea. The book, was it Charles Kelly? Last name's Kelly. I can't remember. I have the book at home, but I read that. It's astonishing, the history of the Buttes.
Well, the thing that amazed me was there's a reason why it'll never become active again, because it's just outside of the two chains.
Yeah, right.
And so they will go to the next link, not here.
Correct. Yes.
And, I mean, I
Now
thought,
you said it. Okay.
Extraordinary.
You're going to wish it into the universe now that it's going to happen.
Let's hope Mount Lassen doesn't blow again in our lifetimes.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we don't need that. But, I just think it was a great story.
I love it.
And obviously, it talked about. It did a lot of great aerial photography.
Yeah.
And you can really see it.
Well, there's so many unique things in the Buttes that don't exist in any other place.
So there's talk about changing the name.
No, we don't need to do
of the
this.
Sutter Buttes,
Yeah.
right? And I thought, if you're going to change it, since now I know the history, I'm okay with it being Fire Mountain.
Oh,
right?
got it.
Because we already got that name out there.
Got it.
Might as well use it, right? It'd be Fire Mountain,
Yeah.
right? Because it was on fire at one point. So, anyway, that's my...
Well, and they still have the missile silos up there, right? They're just
Somewhere.
big holes in the
Yeah,
ground.
I think they're sealed.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we don't need to be hanging out there. All right. Well, Russ Brown, anything else you want to throw out?
No, I appreciate having me on and getting to chat with you guys.
What's your next
great.
article?
Week from this Saturday? So yeah.
No, I was.
What is it? I might talk about this. So what is the whole thing is I just have to walk around town, read the appeal, see what's going on. Sometimes the appeal doesn't inspire me, and I don't write about something happening in the community. Usually I do. But other times it's just about getting old. As Chuck said here, once in this seat or somewhere, one of these seats, he may, Russ just writes about getting old. That's not what I do. It just spills over sometimes.
Well, we are getting old. I mean,
We are getting old.
Jesus.
Creaky and
Yeah, you guys will
stiff
catch
and-
up.
Yeah,
Oh, catch up.
that's right.
Unbelievable. All right, Russell, good seeing you. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you
Good
again
seeing you
soon.
too.
Bob Fischetti, congrats again, everything on Tower Media Empire and
going
rock
great
and
here.
roll. And again, this has been Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts, the
Radio version.
Thank you very much. You can read Chuck Smith's column every Saturday in the Appeal Democrats Weekender edition. That would be the Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts written version, so enjoy that as well. Thanks for joining us today. I want to thank Kurt Barrett on the board once again. Thank him for not
Thank
playing
you,
the
Kurt.
bagpipes this morning because it's too early for bagpipes. If you get my drift, you just
He's
wait.
bringing them in now.
Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk again next Wednesday right here on Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts. Good job, gentlemen.
California grow. Yeah. California grow. Me and the boys doing all we know. Yeah, there's quite like this place that I call home. California grows.